Alrighty, so I'm coming off the high that was UFC Rio. Pretty okay card. I went 7-5, positive in picks and predictions, so shout out to my own picks and predictions. But on this beautiful Thanksgiving weekend is what I'm recording off of here. Ignore my hair, I just had a shower. But Thanksgiving weekend for us Canadian folk, but I'm here clocking in. All right, corporate's reached out. We got to get these videos out. And I'm recording the UFC Reiner de Ritter versus Brendan Allen taking place in UFC Vancouver, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's Vancouver. I'm pretty sure this is Canada, mainly because of all the Canadian prospects. It's somewhere in Canada. And it's Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. I think Americans, you guys have it a little bit later. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works over there in the good old US of A. But I'm here to break down the whole card, give you my thoughts and predictions based on my 3 years of experience of watching the sport. Start to finish on every single card for the past 3 years. That's my experience. I'm a little bit of a young blood, if you will, but here's my thoughts and takes that we got going on here. You know the deal. Starting off, Melissa Croden versus Tainara Lisboa. You know, just fucking marauders we got starting off here, guys. Fucking marauders. All right. And if you're newer to the channel, there's some trick that I do for my women's MMA. To be fair, I feel like for the past, my method has not gone negative in the past, 5 cards, 6 cards. So we're looking a little bit of over a month of not going negative here. But if you're familiar with the channel, my method is the coin flip, ladies and gentlemen. So heads is the woman on the left, tails is the woman on the right. Let's see what we get, baby. Yeah, tails. What did I say on the right? Tainara Lisboa is winning this vintage 29-28. You never bet against Brazil. Unfortunately, Canada's going to start off the card with a women losing. Now, that's rare for Canada. You know, our women are typically pretty good in our own country. Just saying. Okay, just saying. All right. Our women are typically pretty good over here at fighting for some reason. And the men always fumble the bag for some fucking reason. But Tainara Lisboa by decision. I don't care. 29-28 via vintage split woman decision. Moving on, we have Azamat Bekoyev versus whoever the fuck this guy is. Babyface Assassin. So we're just taking Brandon Moreno's fucking name? Right? From the Netherlands? Why the fuck are these guys here? With no fucking Canadian? You couldn't find a bum Canadian? That's what we produce, brother. What do you mean we couldn't find a fucking low-level Canadian? There's a guy who just... Anyways, okay, these are middleweights. Oh, this guy who knocked out Ryan Loder, eh? Huh. This guy looked really, really good in his performances, to be fair. Huh. KO over Zach Reese, eh? Was that the slam KO? Or am I thinking of a different one? That might have been this... I don't... KO over Ryan Loder. Ryan Loder's not really a good name, but this guy's debut, I could just see it from the look of his face. This guy does not look like he's from the Netherlands. This guy looks like a fucking... This guy looks like he'd yell at me in a soap opera. You know what I mean? So whatever that is. Holy shit, he's 6'5"? What the fuck? What are they feeding this kid? He's got almost an 80-inch reach advantage. Or 80-inch, not 80-inch reach advantage. That'd be insane. But, oh my god. He's lost to Marco Tulio. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That guy's shit. That guy, I think, made it through the UFC and he got cut, right? Am I mistaken on that? Research. Marco Tulio. I swear that guy fought in the UFC like once or twice and he got cut, didn't he? He fucking did. I knew he did. I just beat Tresean Gore. Ah, fair play. Okay, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. I was gonna say. Marco Tulio fucking sucks. I'm gonna be honest. That guy's a fucking bum. Don't like that. This guy, bro, 8-3. What are we doing hiring these people? I'm gonna go with the guy I watched beat 2 people, and not the guy who's lost to a shit, fighter in the UFC. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bukoyev here. Um, yeah. He hasn't fought in a year and they just signed him? Like, what the fuck is the UFC doing, bro? Anyways, I'm going Azamat boy. Yeah, Bukoyev. I think if I remember correctly, he's got, like, pretty good hands. I know he's got, like, these 2 KOs here, but I'm pretty sure his, like, striking technique is there. Oh, American Top Team, for sure striking technique is there. So yeah, this guy I think is going to be pretty good. He's probably going to, like, honestly, he's probably going to KO this fucking really tall Netherlands guy. But I'm going to go with decision because I don't know who the fuck this U3 guy is, other than he lost to Marco Tullio, and I think Marco Tullio fucking sucks. Moving on, we have Stephanie Luciano versus Ravenna Oliveira. You know, all right. What are we getting with the coin? Heads on the left, tails on the right. Let's go. Tails again, eh? All right, we're going with Oliveira here. You know, she's got Oliveira in her name. Therefore, she's got good ground. And therefore, she's going to win via 29-28 split decision. Hey, vintage women style. You know, you never bet against Brazil, even though both these women are Brazilian. You know, she's, she's got one more win than her opponent. That's all I need to say, baby. But yeah, I think I just had a fucking stroke there for a second. Anyways, you know, she's beat, you know, she's lost Lisboa, who's lower on the card. What I just don't give a fuck about women's MMA. Moving on, we have Kyle Prepperlek versus Drew Dober. Giga Chad himself, Drew Dober. Oos. Drew Dober just looks like the dude who's just like, you just know Drew Dober does that in the morning. You know when Drew Dober wakes up, first thing he does after he brushes his teeth, you know, he spits it out, and he's just like, you know exactly what this guy does. Yeah, Drew Dober. Holy fuck, what are we doing making him that big of a favorite? God damn. I skimmed this card. I never really, like, look too deeply into the cards. I like doing a raw, fresh reaction when I'm breaking down a card. And this card in particular, I did, like, skim through, just because it's Canadian, you know? You gotta put some money on your fighters, you know? I gotta have some dopamine rush, and I will be transparent on the fighters I'm probably betting on, and the bets I make, which is like $10 a card, if that. But yeah, regardless of that, I don't endorse gambling, but you know, if sponsorships come my way, hey, corporate's been reaching out, you know? But anyways, Kyle Prepperlek, the guy who got, was it cut from the UFC, and then he got re-signed short notice to fight Benoit Saint Denis in Canada on the last card. And it was short notice for Kyle Prepperlek, and he got fucking smoked. But he did last a lot longer than I thought a lot of people were expecting, and he did land some big bombs. Kyle Prepperlek does kind of fucking, like, what is this, man? Like, what even, BTC? Like, what does that say? Prospect with a star? Like, what the fuck? What are these organizations? This guy doesn't even fight. Like, genuinely, this guy doesn't even fight. He probably got a decent contract because it was short notice and he saved the card. A little older, too. A little bit of a height advantage. Drew Dober's coming off, you know, some bad losses. He's coming off some bad losses, you know? You can tell here. He's been having a rough go at it, you know? To be fair, he has fought, like, pretty good guys. Renato Moicano, Gene Silva, upper weight class, short notice Gene Silva, and Manuel Torres. I don't rate Manuel Torres. I don't rate Gene Silva that much. Even upper weight class. because we all know what happened to Gene Silva. Hey, I got that prediction right. Shout out to my own channel. Hit that notification bell, subscribe button to stay updated and get picks and predictions from your boy. But regardless of that, yeah, he did get KO'd from Favola, and that's kind of where it started to fall down. The Ricky Glenn fight was also kind of a weak performance. He was really struggling to find that KO on Ricky Glenn when Ricky Glenn was there to be KO'd. Like, hands low, weak. I think he was shooting takedowns. It was an ugly, ugly performance. And he got the KO, I think, in round 2 or I want to say it was 3. It was a really late KO when he should have just been able to chin him earlier. And I don't mean that in like, oh, he didn't have the power or whatever. It was just a case of like, man, he was really like, in moments, struggling to find that shot to put down Ricky Glenn. I guarantee there's flyweights that put out Ricky Glenn. Unranked flyweights. Like, Ode Osborne probably puts out Ricky Glenn in a round. You know what I mean? You know, Hanato Moicano, it was close, but he made some bad grappling decisions and ended up losing position in one of the rounds. I think it was round 2. No, I think it was round 3. After really fucking up Moicano. So he ended up losing. I think it was a 29-28. And then the Gene Silva fight, he just couldn't take enough punishment, basically, and they stopped that fight due to damages to his own face. The Manuel Torres is a really bad look. He got finished, and it was one of the goofiest, I think it was the goofiest post-fight encounter after watching someone get finished. Like, I've seen some of the goofy ones from highlights, but this is the first one I watched, and I was just like, oh shit, CTE is a real thing. You know, it reminded you. Because he got knocked down, and the ref took a while to stop it, because Drew Dober was holding on to a leg. And just afterwards, after getting his head bounced off the fucking canvas, pretty much, because he was just holding on to a single leg, he literally thought the fight was still going on for another 4 minutes. And it, like, the ref was like, no, we're done here. And Drew Dober's like walking him down. He's doing the shimmy. He's getting into the fucking groove. And the ref's like, no, it's over, bro. And he's like, what? What happened? You know, interesting right there. So who knows if PTSD will hit him if Kyle Prepperlek lands a right hand. But training camp Kyle Prepperlek, this could be a new mythical fighter here. My thing is just like, I can't really trust Drew Dober coming off. I'm going to go with Drew Dober. I think he'll play it safe. And I think he knows, like, if he loses this one, he's getting cut. Minus 400 is crazy. I don't know who the fuck is betting Drew Dober at minus 400, 500. I can genuinely see Prepperlek landing some big bombs on Drew Dober and knocking him out. I'm not saying Kyle Prepperlek hits that hard. I think the era of Drew Dober having like a golden chin or the crimson chin is over. I think he's got like a relatively normal human chin now, and he's there to be chinned if you're just walking him down. Now, I don't think Kyle Prepperlek's going to be that guy. But I think this guy's formerly in the UFC as well. I think he was shit in the UFC as well. He ended up getting cut, came back after apparently a fucking long time. I don't rate Kyle Prepperlek, but I don't rate Drew Dober at this point in his career either. Maybe I get a little wild with a Kyle Prepperlek KO bet or something because it's Canada, but I would not be I wouldn't be putting a dime on Drew Dober in this fight. Even if this was a pick'em, I'd say this should be like minus 250 Drew Dober. Even if this was a pick'em, I still wouldn't fucking pick Drew Dober, or I wouldn't bet on Drew Dober. Like, this is okay, let's watch and see what happens, you know? Let's see if Drew Dober still got it and can contend with some fucking bums on the unranked scene, you know? But anyways, yeah, interesting one. Moving on, we have Danny Barlow versus Desjardins. What the fuck is his name? Desjardins Santos. His nickname Shakur. This guy lost to Ozzy Diaz. I mean, the Sam Patterson one isn't looking too bad. Yeah, I think he got smoked in that fight. Fuck. Danny Barlow's one of these, like, Randy Brown / Kevin Holland types, where he is good on the feet. He does look very chinnable, though, you know? But he does hit like a truck. And this Desjardins Santos lost to Ozzy fucking Diaz. Ozzy Diaz sucks. Like, Diaz is just a tall dude. I think Danny Barlow being a tall dude with power and actual good striking, I think Danny Barlow's probably going to get this done via KO in the first round. I think this is a bounce-back win for Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow got clipped by Sam Patterson. There's no, like, sweat off Danny Barlow's back, I feel like. Even though he was a flawless prospect, and I think I probably picked Danny Barlow and the Sam Patterson. I'm not, like, too big on Sam Patterson, but now that he's been fighting a little bit, and he got that KO off the other guy he just fought, I'm a little bit higher on Sam Patterson. You know, the Vretnikov win is good. I don't like the split, but I thought it was probably pretty clear if I remember Danny Barlow. The Josh Quinlan, that was a good win because that, I think, was the Josh Quinlan. Maybe it was one fight after the PED popping because he popped for PEDs, I want to say. And then he showed up flabby against Trey Waters. And then he, I think, fought Danny Barlow. But Danny Barlow did what he needed to do and smoked him. Did okay against Vretnikov. I just don't think... I genuinely think if you lose to someone like Ozzy Diaz, you are a nobody. Get the fuck out of the sport. Like, you should not be... I think Danny Barlow might balloon to a minus 500 favorite. I wouldn't say he's a safe parlay piece if you're a gambling man. Yeah, I don't think he's a bad pick. You know, like, if you told me you had a lot of money or you put a parlay with Danny Barlow and somebody else, I would not call you crazy. I think Danny Barlow is by far the better fighter here. And I think this is like a layup win. And if he fumbles this one, Danny Barlow might just yikes. Yikes. Yeah, he might not be able to recover. Yeah, he's a lot like Chidi Njokuani. Gotta be careful how I say that. And Randy Brown, where they're tall, rangy, powerful strikers, pretty good, fairly active to be fair. But Danny Barlow's young compared to the other ones, so I think Danny Barlow can be like something. You know, Sam Patterson could be finding his way into the rankings. Moving on, we have Bruno Silva versus Hyung Sung Park. So this is the one I'm thinking of, and I don't mean that in a racist way. This is the one that, short notice showed up to fight Tatsuro Taira and got smoked. Right. Carlos Hernandez subbed them. I remember that one. Shannon Ross KO. Good performance. That, yeah. Hyung Sung Park is a pretty good grappler. Bruno Silva's got a different type of dog in him. Bro, minus 250 favorites. Kind of wild, huh? Bro, this might be... This is a tough one. Bruno Silva is good. Like, Bruno Silva, the middleweight one that got... I'm pretty sure he got cut. That guy's dog shit. Bruno Silva in flyweight, despite him losing to... Before I look, I think it's Manel Cap. And the other one was... Not Joshua Van. It was somebody else. Oh, it was Joshua Van. Right, because Joshua Van beat this guy, and then he showed up short notice to fight Brandon Royval. What a G. God, Joshua Van is just... Can we just give a round of applause for Joshua Van? You might hear my washer in the background. Ignore that. Regardless, Bruno Silva is good. Technique-wise, he is good. He's really good at disrupting flow states. He is a dirty fucking cheater. That's something to be said. He likes to eye poke. He did get fucking broke in that Joshua Van fight, though. And he is weak to the body. Didn't this guy get a liver shot KO? Yeah, liver shot on Shannon Ross. Yeah, Hyung Sung Park is pretty good, though. Like, for flyweight, like... Park's pretty balanced everywhere. He took a big risk fighting Tatsuro Taira, so I kind of respect it. Oof, this is a tough one, man. Bruno Silva's good. If you're picking Bruno Silva, I'm not gonna, like, call you crazy. I think Bruno Silva's got really good odds of winning here. I think he's got good... Bro, he's got good striking. He's fast. He's got okay defense. He just lacks when you're doing too much against him. Like, you have to be faster than him, you have to be stronger than him, or you have to have like some sort of, you have to have like an advantage over him to beat him. Very, very clearly have an advantage. Manel Cap able to get away with cheating. Even though Bruno Silva also cheated, but Bruno Silva made round 1 pretty close. Despite Manel Cap doing his aura farming shit, and having a better moment than fucking Cody Garbrandt, Dominic Cruz. I almost said Reyes. But Bruno Silva, I just don't think is the type to stay ranked. Where I think Park is actually like a ranked flyweight, you know? Like Bruno Silva, man, the Cody Durden, that's a good fight. That one I wasn't even around for. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Young Sung Park. I don't think it's a crazy take to pick Bruno Silva, and I have no doubt I'm gonna see a lot of people pick him. When I'm recording this like early. This is like Sunday, so I haven't seen any breakdowns. I haven't seen the YouTubers I typically run through the gauntlet. You know, the types MMA Gurus, Bedtime MMAs, Jacob from We Want Picks, people like that. But I'll be interested to see if anyone picks him because I think Bruno Silva's pretty fucking good. I'm gonna go Young Sung Park via. Honestly, via bad dropping, Bruno Silva covers up and they early stop it because Bruno Silva covered up way too early. Bruno Silva does do that. He does cover up. Like he sort of like shells up in a ball very, very early when he's received a lot of punishment. But in round 1, he's going to be live. I think round 2 is where we're going to see him break. I think he got finished twice in round 2 in his last 2. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't mind Park. Park's pretty good. You know, striking wise, he just got subbed short notice against Tatsuro Taira to save a card. I mean, I'm not really like, oh, what a dog shit fighter, you know. I've come around to Tatsuro Taira since this Brandon Royval fight because I did pick Brandon Royval, but yeah, man, I think Park is good enough to beat Bruno Silva. That's what I'll say. Moving on, we have Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant. Davy Grant is an interesting one. He was in my top 5 unks. Or he might have been top 10. Top 10 unks of this year. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I did a video doing my top unks of this year. Hey, you can go check it out. You know, it's on the channel. Not too long ago. I did it about a week ago. But Davy Grant's pretty fucking good. He's really good at managing range. And Charles Jourdain really does struggle with range. We saw it with the Sean Woodson fight. Is this bantamweight? Please be bantamweight. Oh, thank fuck it's bantamweight. Charles Jourdain does this thing where he fights at featherweight, and it pisses me the fuck off. I really like he's fighting at bantamweight. I actually love that he's fighting at bantamweight. And this makes Charles Jourdain way more alive, in my opinion. Listen, Davy Grant's good. He's got really good wins. Win over Damon Blackshear. I don't rate that too much. A win over Ramon Tavares recently. Ramon Tavares is kind of just a punching bag. But they're good wins. Daniel Marcos, I think he beat him. That split decision was a robbery. Rafael Sunsao, great win, even though Rafael's old as fuck. I mean, Davy Grant's old as fuck. Luis, that guy, also a good win. Davy Grant, there's an argument he's on like a really big win streak right now. I just think Charles Jourdain in Canada, his brother did just get signed, and I think that's like a little bit of a confidence booster. So I think Charles Jourdain's going to be, I think he's going to be losing this fight, and then we're going to see that explosivity. Because where Davy Grant struggles are when guys bring like wars to him. You know, when a guy will actually engage with Davy Grant, that's where he struggles. We saw it a little bit with the Damon Blackshear. When Damon Blackshear wanted to go for it, like get takedowns and shit, he was pretty much able to get them. Ramon Tavares is a fucking bum. But Charles Jourdain, I think, is the guy. Like, he can set a high-level pace very early. And I think we're going to see a Charles Jourdain finish in round 1 on Davy Grant. And I think it's going to be sad. I'm going to go sub. I think it'll be a club and sub situation. I respect the fuck out of Davy Grant. And he's got good odds of winning. And again, this is another case. If you're picking Davy Grant or you have money on Davy Grant, I don't think it's a bad pick. I don't think it's a bad choice. I'm on the other side. Jourdain's legit good. His record is shit. He does fight like killers. Like, Gene Silva, that was up a weight class, and he was doing fairly well until he got fucking chinned. Wicked uppercut KO from Gene Silva. Sean Woodson, even though it was a split, it was very clear Sean Woodson. Jourdain just couldn't find the reach and everything. But the way I'm looking at this is that Jourdain's fought a better Davy Grant, and that is Sean Woodson, in my opinion. You know, you can disagree with that, but I think Davy Grant is like a little bit worse than Sean Woodson. Definitely worse on the feet. And then when we're talking about takedown ability, I think Jourdain can get a takedown. I think we're gonna get Jourdain. We're gonna get a little bit of striking. Jourdain's gonna do something wild. You know, Grant's gonna like smile or whatever, and then Charles Jourdain's gonna rush him with like a fucking blast double leg or something. He probably won't get it, and he'll get Davy Grant against the cage. But he'll get some sort of fucking trip going or something. And I think he's going to get like a front choke, guillotine type of situation. Jourdain's really, really good at... He's really good at like getting you in a bad position. And then, oh, I see the sub. And he just fucking goes for it. Like, he'll go for it, squeeze with all of his intent. And in round one, I think is his best chance. If we get out of round one... and like Davy Grant's like plus 500 or something. Hey, there might be a live $5 on Davy Grant thrown that way. Because Davy Grant could crafty vet it. I just don't think he's gonna finish Charles Jourdain. I think Jourdain's got all the confidence in the world. His brother just got signed to the UFC. This is gonna be, I think, an easy Jourdain win. As much as I respect Davy Grant. Moving on, we have Kyle Nelson versus Steamroller Frevola. Yeah, Favola's also kind of on a loss streak here, isn't he? Yeah, Benoit Saint Denis, Ferocium. Not bad losses, to be fair. You know? But getting old, he's a ginger, fellow ginger. Hey, I know what it's like, brother. Our debuff genetically is that we're a little chinny. Kyle Nelson. I was going to say, this guy's a featherweight. Why the fuck is he... why is he fighting at 155? Ugh, I don't like that. He got KO'd by Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is pretty good, to be fair. Pretty game. Kyle Nelson did, like, kind of throw away that win. Kyle Nelson, I think, was having a lot of success, and then he got fucking, like, smoked. Or no, wasn't this, like, the... I want to say this is the one where he got, like, cheated of a KO. I might have to rewatch this. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this was like Kyle Nelson got like wobbled pretty bad, and they just stopped the fight while he was standing, or something weird happened, and Kyle Nelson fumbled the bag, or maybe I'm thinking Nelson Bill Algeo. There was one fight with Kyle Nelson where it was a weird one, where it was a very, very weird one. Maybe it was the Bill Algeo one. I think it was, now that I'm remembering, I think it was the Bill Algeo one. This Kyle Nelson fight, he got fucking smoked. Steve Garcia smoked him. Yeah, this Bill Algeo one, he rocked Bill Algeo. And Bill Algeo had like a broken orbital or something like that. And it was like a really bad early stoppage, in my opinion. And Bill Algeo was doing alright. He was losing, but he was doing alright. Kyle Nelson, he kind of is just a dude who relies on being bigger and having range. He's not going to have the range in this fight. He will definitely look bigger. Frivola's going to look thicker. I think he's going to look thicker. Frivola's got good game plans, but he does struggle when someone has power. And I think when you're Kyle Nelson's size, you just naturally have that big guy power. Like, it says 5'11". I guarantee he's going to look way bigger when they're in there. Like, he's probably closer to 6'1", to be honest. But the thing with Frivola is that, do I trust the chin HP? You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. The Benoit Saint Denis KO was literally a toe that caught him on the forehead and it killed him. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, Frocium was like a knee. And I saw the clip in the corner where his corner's like yelling, turn around, turn around. The moment he turns around, he gets fucking chinned. Ew, like, ew, brother, what's that? I don't like that. I don't like that. But Kyle Nelson is a shit Canadian fighter. That's the other thing with Kyle Nelson. It's a tough one. But Favola just spans overhand rights. But Kyle Nelson's open to an overhand right. I swear he got caught if I remember correctly, by Steve Garcia. I'm gonna go with, this is a tough one. If I want to go with my heart, I'm picking Frivola. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me I gotta go with the logical pick. I'm gonna go with Kyle Nelson. Be a KO in round 1. Listen, I respect Steamroller Frivola. He chinned Drew Dober and caused Drew Dober's career to go off the rails. He's got good wins against Ottoman Izayatar, to be fair. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Whatever. Frivola's kind of just lost it. He's like lost that. Doesn't look that technical on the feet. He doesn't have like good explosivity. He's kind of just like an average skill set dude for lightweight with a bad chin. And I feel like Cal Nelson, lighter man skill, former featherweights, getting chinned by Steve Garcia. Like, Steve Garcia's got more power than fucking Matt Frivola, I feel like. So, I don't know. I think Cal Nelson's probably going to get, like, tagged a few times. I just don't think it's going to be enough to put him out. Like, for Cal Nelson, you got to have enough to, like, put him out cold. I don't think Frivola's going to do it. Unfortunately. I'll be rooting for Frivola, though. I fucking hate this Cal Nelson dude. I don't know. Something about him just pisses me off when I see him. But we move on to Cody Gibson versus Arichi Lang. Which one is this? For no... Oh, this is the one that lost to Raul Rosas in a very boring decision. Unintentional groin strike. Who the fuck is this guy? He lost to Ayman Zahabi by KO. Bro, we might get a vintage Cody Gibson here. Yeah, I mean, he got subbed by Damon Blackshear. I think it was round 3, I want to say. Cody Gibson was beating the shit out of... If you watch that fight, Cody Gibson beat the fucking shit out of Damon Blackshear. He just ended up gassing out in his old age. I genuinely think if he starts this fight, he's gonna, like, he's gonna find a... I think he's gonna win 29-28. I was thinking, like, he could finish Arichi Lang, because Arichi Lang, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have a great chin. Yeah, getting chinned by Ayman Zahabi. This guy doesn't fucking fight, bro. What is this? Ugh, brother. Yeah, I mean, he got out-grappled. Cody Gibson's pretty too, on the ground. Like, he can do his thing, you know? Even though Cody Gibson's 38. He's a good bantamweight. Bro, he's taller and a reach. Yeah, I'm picking Cody Gibson. I think Cody Gibson's pretty fucking good. Especially from his last performance. Chad Ellen, that guy, I almost said a bad word. And Brian Kelleher. Those are some pretty good wins to have. And he kind of, yeah, he used to whoop on Brian Kelleher, if I remember correctly. He's no slouch on the ground. If he wanted to grapple, I think he wins. The only thing I'm concerned with is that Cody Gibson in round 1 and 2 is typically full force ahead. And normally I love that. I don't like that because he's normally pretty breakable in the third. But I don't think Arichi Lang's good at all. I don't think his grappling's good. I don't think his striking is good. I think he's just going to get smoked. I think he's going to look tough. He's going to eat some shots. He's probably going to get dropped. Cody Gibson's probably going to fumble a finish. Then we get to round 2. Cody Gibson's probably going to strike, maybe get tagged or something and shoot a takedown. Wait for a leg kick, like bait out a leg kick in crafty vet fashion. Get that leg, take him down and ground and pound until round 2 ends. And then round 3, it's going to be kind of close. And I think we're going to see another Cody Gibson clear round. Probably, you know, a little bit of touch. Arichi Lang has like a moment of explosivity, and then he's just okay with being a punching bag. Because Arichi Lang kind of reminds me of a type of dude who just wants to be a punching bag, you know. And a lot of hey, not to be racist, okay? A lot of Chinese fighters, they leave their hands way too low for my liking. And I think Arichi Lang's one of those. So I'm gonna go with Cody Gibson here. I'm pretty confident in Cody Gibson, to be honest. Near even, I think those are fair odds. I think those are pretty fair odds. What are people saying? Really? Yeah, topology. You guys just don't know what the fuck you're picking, huh? Moving on, we have Man on a Fior Rot versus Jasmine Judavicius. Uh-oh. Heads left, tails right. I don't know if I like that. Man on a Fiorot. Oh, that was a lot of people were pretty high on Manon against Valentina Shevchenko. And Valentina looked like a pretty weak in that fight. Yeah, I'm picking Manon Fiorot because the coin picked it. 29-28, whatever. Jasmine gets it done. I'm actually not going to be... Jasmine's actually, like, not that bad. Looking. No, I'm kidding. She's also not that bad in the cage. Her wins aren't that great. Like, Jessica Andrade fucking is a bum. But she ragdolled her like a bum. My win, Brano Silva, also fucking sucks. And wasn't this the one that fought for a belt not too long ago? There's an argument she should be fighting for the belt now, to be honest with you. But, you know, they just don't want to see Canada succeed. What can I say, guys? You know, Valentina Shevchenko's tucking Jasmine Lucindo, or Jasmine Judavicius. Too many fucking Jasmines. You know, Jasmine Judavicius, what can I say? You know, she's got a nice assets, and she's got good cake, you know? Those are the words on the street over at St. Catherine's. Interesting. Anyways. Yeah, I'm going with Manon Fiorot because the coin picked it. But if I was listening to my heart, I would have probably went Jasmine Judavicius. But yeah, moving on. We have Marlon Chito Vera versus Amin Zahabi. How old is Chito? 32. Fuck, I don't like that for Amin Zahabi. I'm picking Amin Zahabi. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Chito Vera's tough. I don't think he's getting finished. I think he is there to be bitched, though. Chito Vera's just a highlight merchant. He waits for a KO, and as long as Amin Zahabi's locked in for 15 minutes, he should be fine. That being said, Amin Zahabi did get dropped really, really bad to Jose Aldo in round 3. Nearly got finished. I'm really worried about a Chito Vera round 3 KO. This reeks of a Chito Vera round 3 KO. Anybody else? This, like, Amin Zahabi normally has bad round 3s. Against, not Pedro Munoz, but against Javid Basharat, he had a really bad round 3, where he looked pretty gassed and he was being outpointed. Yeah, Javid Basharat fucking sucks, though. Pedro Munoz, he very clearly beat. Jose Aldo, I did think it was a robbery. If I go back and watch the fight, I'll probably still think it's a robbery. But at the end of the day, like, he's here, he's ranked, he's a Canadian fighter. I'm going to be fucking rooting for Canada. Amin Zahabi's obviously a Canadian name. I mean, you can't get more Canadian than that, guys. But, nah, like, brother Firas Zahabi, even though Firas Zahabi's kind of fallen off as a coach, huh? But the thing mainly with Amin Zahabi is that he's still decently fast. His boxing's still up there with Jose Aldo, which is, like, something pretty impressive. His grappling's alright. Like, he's got good entries, you know? He's not that tough in terms of, like, if you damage him enough, you can break Amin Zahabi. Chito Vera isn't the guy to do it, though, you know? As much as this reeks as a round 3 KO, Chito Vera's not going to be the guy to finish. It's so hard for me to pick Chito Vera. This guy got a gifted shot against Sean O'Malley, got fucking whooped. Fought Davison Figueiredo, got fucking whooped. And the Figueiredo performance was very much like a Chito had nothing. He had nothing against Figueiredo. And if, like, Amin Zahabi's a more active boxer than Figueiredo. And I just think, like, Chito Vera's only benefit is that he's tough. That's it. You know? Like, oh, he's got the reach advantage here. They're the same height, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. Amin Zahabi strikes me as, like, a small midget. But maybe he's not. He's the same height as me. So maybe I shouldn't be saying that. But, yeah, I'm going with Amin Zahabi. I think this is a good fight for Amin Zahabi. And this is, like, the most winnable... Let me just look at the roster real quick in bantamweight. Amin Zahabi's number 9. Vera's number 7. So, I don't think he beats Mario Bautista. I don't think he beats Figueiredo, especially after that last performance Figgy just had. I don't think he beats Song Yudong. I don't think he beats Corey Sandhagen. I don't think he beats Corey, or I don't think he beats Peter, Umar, Sean, or Merab. So I think this is, like, the most, like, punchable matchup he could have found. a punching bag who you just gotta watch out for a head kick here and there. You know, like he landed on Dominic Cruz. And there's an argument he's lost 4 in a row. You know, the Corey Sandhagen, that's not a split. He lost that very clear. Pedro Munoz, I mean this genuinely, I still think he lost that fight. I think that's a robbery, and Chito Vera didn't do shit in that fight. But they gave it to him for some reason. And Chito Vera just strikes me as like a all bark, no bite type of dude. So I'm going Amin Zahabi. I'm fairly confident, to be honest. I'll probably be putting him, I'll probably be doing like a weird parlay, like Amin Zahabi and a few of these next ones. But yeah, I'm going Amin Zahabi. I'm fairly confident. He's just got to watch out for being chinned, and he wins the fight. Moving on, we have Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. I've had my grievances with Mike Malott, and I've had my grievances with Kevin Holland. So I'm going to 200 IQ this, okay? I have not got a Kevin Holland fight right since I started predicting. And I mean that seriously. This guy's very active. He's fought a lot of fucking people. Roman Dolidze. I picked Kevin Holland against Roman because I thought Roman sucked. Turns out Roman sucks, but so does Kevin Holland. Reiner de Ritter. I thought Reiner de Ritter striking looked like dog shit in the GM3 fight, so I picked Kevin Holland. I was wrong on that one. Then we get to Gunnar Nelson. And I thought Kevin Holland is fucking dog shit because he's coming off 2 losses and he showcased nothing. And I thought Gunnar Nelson at least had good grappling, and he just lost to 2 grapplers. And then he beats Gunnar Nelson via decision. And then I'm like, okay, guys, Vicente Luque is going to be live here. Kevin Holland, if he strikes, it's going to be a rough one out there, you know. Yeah, this is going to be win streak Vicente Luque. Locked in Vicente Luque, prime age. Just finished Themba Garimbo. Gets fucking Darce choked. God fucking damn it. And then And then I pick him against Daniel Rodriguez. And I said, put money on Daniel Rodriguez, because whoever I pick in a Kevin Holland fight, I'm always wrong. So, I'm picking Kevin Holland, but I do think it will end up being a decision. I'm picking Kevin Holland, guys. And I don't know if Kevin Holland watches my videos or something and purposely decides to fumble the bags whenever I pick them, but yeah, you know, Mike Malott just had one poor performance in round 3 against Neil Magny. It's not a bad loss, man. Neil Magny's fucking good. But he just looked like a weak pussy bitch and he quit on himself. His other fights are pretty good, though. Like, he whooped Johan Lainez. He whooped Adam Fugit. Trevin Giles was a dog shit fucking performance. And if Trevin Giles threw one more jab, he clearly wins that fight. The Charles Radke performance was pretty good, though. So I'm going to be picking Kevin Holland, guys. Via decision. And that's mainly because one of these fighters, I think, has the overall better skill advantage, and the other one seems to be a part-timer who doesn't take his career seriously. Probably is riddled with injuries, just fought 2 months ago, and he did get fucking cracked a lot. So, yeah, that's my picks. We're moving on to the main event. Damn, main event time already. Holy shit, I've recorded for a while. Reiner de Ritter versus Brandon Allen. Now, this is an interesting one. This is short notice, Brendan Allen. I don't know. I think it's a couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks. I will say, I am not going to take Brendan Allen lightly here. I think Brendan Allen's got okay odds of winning here. I do think Reiner de Ritter looks very open against Robert Whittaker. And if someone is able to tank Reiner de Ritter and trudge forward, they'll probably beat Reiner de Ritter, like a Dricus du Plessis. Or maybe even a Sean Strickland. But you got to be able to take the shots or get out of the way. Brandon Allen is not that guy. He's just not. He's got questionable IQ on the ground. And it's almost like he breaks. Like, he talks big game. And then when he gets in there, the moment he's on bottom position, like, you know when you see a jiu-jitsu nerd or like a grappler and they're rolling for a leg or they're on bottom and they look like a bitch, but they can sometimes end up pulling it off? They have like a level of confidence to them. Brendan Allen, when he rolls, when he's grappling, man, he just looks like a moron and breaking and just like he's very, very dog shit when it comes to his grappling IQ. Like, yeah, he can get a submission on guys who don't really know the game that much. Ugh. I didn't know he subbed Paul Craig. Hey, it was weight drain Paul Craig. What can I say, you know? Middleweight Paul Craig just wasn't it. But his, like, the Chris Curtis fight... Was that Chris... No, Chris Curtis won. Chris Curtis won. And then this one, some people thought Chris Curtis got robbed. I remember that. I was actually... Yeah, I remember that. That was a close fucking fight, to be fair. Nasruddin Imavov isn't, like, a great fighter, in my opinion. And despite him being able to take shots, I'll get into some of Reiner de Ridder's striking in a minute, but I just don't think that was a great performance. Like, very bad performance from Brendan Allen. He just got bitched. Anthony Hernandez, he made so many bad grappling mistakes. He had so many advantageous spots on Anthony Hernandez, and this was a rematch where he already lost to, so it was him to find a good game plan, and I picked Anthony Hernandez because I didn't trust Brendan Allen. Even though he's young, man, I don't understand why his IQ is so bad. But yeah, he kept on, like, putting himself on bottom position. Very bad IQ. Marvin Vettori, he was able to win because Marvin Vettori doesn't have any steam in his shots. He doesn't have any pepper or salt left in him, you know? I picked Marvin Vettori purely because I thought, like, Marvin Vettori, I thought was good enough, or I thought Brendan Allen was shit enough to lose to Marvin Vettori. And it was kind of a close fight in moments, to be fair. Marvin Vettori was able to get some fucking grappling success as well, man. Very bad, especially round one grappling IQ. I think Brendan Allen is going to keep the standing. I think he's going to eat probably 2 or 3 pound for pound number one Reiner de Ridder knees to the body, and he's going to realize, ah, shit, I need to shoot a takedown. He's going to go for a takedown. I think he's going to end up on bottom, and Reiner de Ridder is going to, like, goofy, fucking find a way to sub him on the ground. I also think Reiner de Ridder's very live for a KO on the feet, despite him looking like a fucking toddler who barely strikes, like a blueprint for Sean Woodson striking, a Sean Woodson egg that hatched somewhere in the Netherlands. He is, like, powerful. He's got strength there. He's got some technique. He's just got to be able to live an overhand right. And I think fucking Robert Whittaker has way more power than Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's he showcased a better chin in his last fight against Marvin fucking Vettori. But are we going to pretend like Marvin Vettori's got heat in his hands? That guy's a decision machine. And he gave Brendan Allen some problems. Brendan Allen does not move his fucking head as well. That's another thing I wanted to mention. If I'm Reiner de Ridder, front kicks, teeps to the body, knees to the body, and once if Brendan Allen doesn't shoot a takedown on me and he wants to stand, right hand down the pipe, puts down Brendan Allen. I can just see it. But I'm going to go with the submission because I think Brendan Allen's dumb enough to shoot a takedown and get subbed off of it. But yeah, I think it's going to be early. I don't think this is going to be 5 rounds. Brendan Allen's going to yap. But overall, he's not, like, his skill set just isn't there, in my opinion. I think Reiner de Ridder's alright. You know, I think once he wins this, it's like, title shot next is pretty much guaranteed. He should be getting it after this Whittaker fight, to be fair. And this is a short turnaround for Reiner de Ridder. I think he was just looking for a fight. And it was supposed to be Anthony Hernandez. I think he was doing that to Aura Farm a little bit. Now that Anthony's out and we got Brendan Allen, I think he's licking his lips, and, like, this is going to be the easiest fucking paycheck of his life. So, yeah. I'm going Reiner de Ridder, round 1 sub. Brendan Allen being low IQ, shooting a takedown, getting subbed. Yeah, that's my picks and predictions for UFC. I believe this is Vancouver. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. And, as always, hope you have a good day.